So I want to talk about this thing with Marty O'Donnell getting pretty much canceled from this Halo LAN party event he was supposed to be doing. And it's getting more and more ridiculous that just because you lean one way, and it's not even a way that's hurting anyone, right? There's only one side of the aisle that wants to hurt you. And it's just getting really tiring hearing the same old shit over and over again, and nothing's being done about it. But let's listen.
When we had Marty on, we thought it'd be really fun. I've wanted to do a LAN party for years. And Marty took it. He's like, hey, that'd be a really fun idea. So he has taken it, and he actually wanted to make the LAN party happen. Cool. I was actually talking to him just a few weeks ago, and he had mentioned about doing it at HyperX Arena in Las Vegas. And we had talked just a little behind the scenes. We talked about potentially having it at Sin City, doing it before or after Sin City, maybe even doing it at the venue. But ultimately, he chose to pursue doing it at this HyperX Arena at the Luxor in Las Vegas. And apparently he had things pretty much signed and ready to go. But alas, they found out that he has the wrong think. And ultimately, he is.
That's right. You got that wrong think. You know the difference between a man and a woman. That's that wrong think there.
Has been canceled for that. Let's take a look at this.
Don't forget the other part of the wrong think, where people who get arrested should actually face jail time for the crimes they commit instead of being thrown out on the street. That's wrong think.
One of the fun things we thought we would do is to do what they call a Halo LAN party. And for those of you out there who have some nostalgia going on, you remember being on the couch with your friends playing Halo split screen and with LAN cables in your basement or your house. We thought it'd be fun to bring that back again as part of my campaign.
Who plays like that?
But also
Sorry.
because it's the 25th.
I'm getting autism from the way the controller was moving. I really hate when people LARP like that. Like, who uses a controller like that?
I think
And
it's
you
probably
covered
just
the
for
logo.
camera.
They covered the logo.
It's probably
with
for
tape.
camera angle and sponsor avoiding.
That is the answer.
That is
B-roll.
definitely the logical
There's just
answer, but
B-roll.
I have autism, so-
autism.
Okay. That's what you really need to take out of this was the controller.
Yes! Or else the
That's
thumb
right.
would just cover it.
25th anniversary of Halo Combat Evolved. So we talked to a place called HyperX here at the Luxor Hotel Casino in Las Vegas, where they put on events like this. And we had a great conversation with them for more than a month. A week ago, we had it was a little over a week ago, we had a really good Zoom call with about 4 people from the venue. And they were very excited, and we were going forward with it. And then all of a sudden, we got this strange lawyer-looking letter from them that said that they had to. So let me make sure I quote it correctly. They said they needed to reject.
This music is so intense.
Fucking
It
fire! Yeah, I feel like I'm about to go into Tron or whatever.
Yeah, man.
Our plans for using
He's gonna go
their
to
venue
Plaid behind
for
him.
this fun,
You're right.
fan-oriented Halo event because of our political affiliations. And so that was quite a shock to us. Many things were happening at the same time. We had AOC talking about Woke One being, kind of crazy. And I'm like, at the same time she's talking about that, I feel like we're getting canceled by Woke 2, whatever Woke 2 might be, 2.0. I also got canceled from an invitation to go to a fan event up in Sacramento.
All right, we talked about that. Now, the actual email he shared online, this was the email that Allied Esports sent to us, telling us we couldn't use the HyperX Arena for our event. First and foremost, we want to thank you for considering HyperX Arena Las Vegas for your upcoming event. I know that you were planning on walking the arena Friday. Unfortunately, after reviewing the proposed event, including the participating organization sponsors and individuals associated with the program, we will not be able to accommodate your event at HyperX Arena Las Vegas. As a co-branded venue, we operate under extensive contractual requirements that place certain restrictions and approval requirements on events involving political and socially affiliated organizations
So, political and socially affiliated organizations. But again, it's always the thing where you hear from people that when you hear, like, you know, the really like the people saying, oh, well, if a white person said this about a black person online, everyone would go crazy, right? But if a black person says about a white person online, nobody fucking bats an eye. So I want to see like some weird trans Tifa, Antifa advocates do something like this and see if they also get, you know, fucking blackballed from using this thing. Now, of course, they don't have money, the people who do it, because they're too busy throwing their money at fucking fake protests and riots and shit. It's because you're Republican till the rest of the country has this. Yeah, no, that's the thing too, is with me, I'm only one person and I don't really boycott stuff like that. If I don't like it, I won't support it. The problem is I also don't have that kind of money to throw around. So me saying, oh, I like, for example, me saying I'm not going to, I would never go to this arena. I don't have the money to go there and I have no reason to go there. So me saying I wouldn't go there doesn't mean shit. Now, what I can say is not support anything from HyperX, but I already don't buy shit from them in the first place. So it's like that right there doesn't even matter. He even said if he and even side scrollers want change, they need to start making your politics as a protective class like DC has. The thing is, Phoenix will touch on that in a second. I think he does in this, but he's talked about it before where it's like you have people on the right who just laugh this shit off where it's like, oh, I'm on the right. You're talking about killing us. You're talking about canceling us. Oh, that's so cute. That's so funny. But then people on the left pretty much, no matter how obnoxious they are, how evil they are, they get shit done, and people on the right just don't. But, you know, that's just my 2 cents.
And individuals. Based on the political affiliations associated with the event, we are unable to obtain approval from our contracted partners. The decision is based solely on the contractual obligations and venue requirements and should not be interpreted as a position by HyperX Arena Las Vegas or our staff regarding any individual organization, political party, or political viewpoint. I do apologize for the inconvenience this may have caused, but I do appreciate your interest in the venue and your understanding in this matter here. So it's a Republican event, and Allied Esports has very clearly said, we don't want you. We don't want you at our event here. Anyone here shocked by this, that they would be doing this here?
Nope. Phoenix?
Mitsu?
No. Still a little. No?
I'm a little. I was hoping we were past this. And that we could still move forward and have some sort of equivalency when it comes to these kinds of matters. But it feels like it's honestly getting a little bit worse and not better.
Correct.
So what do you think Marty does in this situation? They find another venue, and I go back to, you have these venues that they don't. This is to be clear. This is legal discrimination. They absolutely can do this. And no, Marty cannot sue. It is a private place of business. This is legal discrimination. They're totally. This goes back to,
and that's the thing too, where the one thing that they did, that the HyperX, that what they did correctly, or whoever the company was, what they did correctly was they shut it down before he signed the paperwork. Because if he signs the paperwork, everything's legally binding. And therefore, if they try to pull the rug underneath him at the last seconds, like they did here, then he could sue them because they signed the contracts. Everything's, the ink is dried, and it's like, bam. But no, it's like them saying you don't want to hear because of political affiliation. I'm just honestly, I'm just tired of hearing this shit. And the problem is, it's the same fucking story every single day. And I don't mind talking about it. Trying to come, like, the solutions are there. The problem is, I like Phoenix here, and I agree with him. He's always like, You know, we need to start our own thing. The problem is I ain't got fucking shit for money. And Craig even says it too. They want to do these types of events. The problem is they're expensive. These things are not cheap. And one side has to hire extra security for protection because, as you've seen from the other side, they will gun you down because you know the difference between genders, because you have quote unquote wrong think. And it's getting fucking tiresome. I said it before, I say it again. Give me the badge. Let me be Judge Dredd and let me start course correcting society.
Hey, why don't you just bake the cake, right? Why don't you just bake the cake? Well, they have the right to refuse service to anybody, and they are doing so based off of his political affiliation. So you're dealing with this venue that's in Las Vegas. In a situation like this, the only real opportunity here is to build your own HyperX esports arena and do that. Now, once again, it just comes down to money, right? Time.
Only money.
But Phoenix, is that the only solution? Build your own?
Well, I'm sure there's other solutions. I'm exhausted just saying the same thing over and over again. So I'll say it again. It's like, listen, for going on almost like literal decades, plural, I have been screaming this. And I will say that not many people, obviously our audience totally gets it. So this is not me wagging my finger at this audience, not in the least. But so many people don't get it. And I'll say like, hey, we need to start building. You start small, and of course, and then you also got to support that small thing. Obviously you can't keep comparing it to the big boys of entertainment or whatever. Obviously we're not going to be able to do that. We don't have the funding. We don't have the organization, but you got to start somewhere and you really have to do your best to support it. I don't know how many times it's going to take. I'm confident the answer is it'll never happen. That this side of the aisle, many people on this side of the aisle, will ever hear it. They don't want to hear it. They just want to just focus on their things of making money and corporation, blah, blah, blah. And they don't want to invest in any art or culture. So I don't know how many times you have to like put a fork in a socket and get shocked every single time. And
change happens when you start changing laws and start going after venues who get money from the states and feds. I agree. And it's kind of like with corrupt judges and corrupt DAs, right? You got to get them out of their position. And the problem is getting them out of their position. The problem with getting these laws passed. And that's where it sounds black-pilled, because it's like nothing's ever going to fucking change. The only way things will change if there's like some type of like, I guess, revolution in this country, like big type of change that way. Because it's just the thing where it's like some things are slowly changing, but at the same time, where's all the promises? Like where's the insane asylums that we need so badly? Why hasn't nothing been done with that? Why hasn't like this or like just a lot of the things that you hear, like a lot of politicians saying being taken care of, right? Again, Minnesota, some people have been arrested for fraud up there, but for the most part, there's still these guilty people walking the streets. Governor Walz, I heard from like when all this was going down, he was going to be facing like some like legal precedent. Nothing happened with him. What happened behind the scenes that we got to see publicly is him saying he's not going to run for re-election. So what I think would happen, and you can just look at what's fucking just out there, talk to the Dems and probably some Republicans behind the scenes saying, all right, I will come up publicly saying I'm not going to rerun. I don't face jail time. They're like, done. Come out. What happened? Nothing's happening with him. Same thing with California. How come Nick Shirley can expose fraud that's going on there? And then it's something like, oh, an instant turnaround of passing the Nick Shirley law to where you can't do independent investigations or journalism or whatever it is in California, right? But all the other shit with the drugs on the street, all the crime and shit takes fucking forever to try to get this shit to the table. But the second Nick Shirley's like, hey, look, fraud. Nope, got to get rid of it. Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here. Craig has the platform and the money to do it. Will he do it? I highly doubt it. Well, he has the platform. I don't know how much money he has per se. I know he has money. You know, he has money from being on the internet for so long. He has money from, anyways, I don't know what his income looks like. And don't get me wrong, he has done some stuff. I mean, he's done the Real Game Awards. People want to criticize him for that, but I'm like, you know what? At least he's doing something. Where's your alternative award show to the Game Awards, right? You know, they're doing this meetup in Vegas. There's stuff to be done. I agree. And he can do stuff. But like he says, everything costs money. The problem with your thing is I liked him. You would need to impeach him. And that, yeah, I know. It's just, like I said, it's a lot of legal tape. There's just so much shit behind the scenes that we do not see. It's all pissing. No, it's 100%. It's 100% a pissing contest. And it's ridiculous. This is why I'd rather just come on stream and have fun. But I wanted to kind of talk about this because it's just ridiculous how it's like just doing a Halo LAN party. Yeah, yes, I'm a Republican, but whatever. And it's like, nope, can't do it. Go fuck yourself. It's like, okay. And most people like Craig is just there to make money. I mean, I like to make some money. I said it before, I'll say it again. I would love to be able to stream 6 days a week, 12-hour streams. I would love to do that, but I'm just a little Babbitt streamer boy. But that's where you also have to look at someone like Craig. Not just him, but other streamers when they kind of talk about stuff like this and just kind of gauge how real they are being to their audience and what they're actually doing. Now, could Craig be doing more? Yes. But is he doing stuff? Yes. Like I said, the Real Game Awards, I think, he's doing a good job with that. What else? He's apparently him and Kirsch are talking about trying to do like a VTuber event and other stuff. He just says it just costs money. Got to find the venue. And then you got to pay extra money for having extra security. Because again, one side wants to hurt another side. I think he said the venue they got in Vegas is like $10,000 for what they're doing. Also, keep in mind they did do a real in-person Real Game Awards. It was this year. They rented out a place in Dave & Buster's. They, sold tickets. They had fans come out there. They did a whole thing out there. So, I mean, they did do something, and they rented out this local arcade that people went to. They got to play arcade games pretty much, I think, all weekend or some shit like that. So, I mean, he is doing something. It's not like the people like, I can't think of it off the top of my head. Like, I'm not a big fan of Geeks and Gamers. They do fan meetups. And they are working with like, Rippaverse and shit like that. They are doing stuff. So a lot of these people are doing stuff. It's not like they're banking the money and just saying fuck off. But again, there is more that can be done. And with Craig, like you said, he has a family. That is priority. You know that better than I do. But at the same time, he is doing stuff. I just feel like he can be doing it better. But again, only time will tell.
And then just like, wait, I don't understand. Why isn't the world bending to me? Like,
right. Well,
yeah,
I understand everything that you're saying, but it's not like they publicly were saying we're not going to work with Republicans. This is something that came after they had been through the entire. Like there was no indicator at this point that this is how they thought. It's not like they
need to. Guys, like, I don't know what, like, there's communists in power. I don't know what time we all think it is. It's time to start building things. This shouldn't even have been an issue. It shouldn't be, I'm going anywhere. I'm going to make my own space, and we're all going to go to that space. Confirmed. It's in.
And again, I agree with them. The problem is, I feel like when Phoenix says this, he thinks a space can be brought up overnight. Like, we're doing a space here, bam, it's done. I'm the type of person, let's just get shit done now. Let's do it now. Let's get to it. Let's do it. The problem is he keeps saying, let's do our space. And when it comes to like this arena, it's like, okay, you need to find a place that would actually host you. Because obviously you can't just be like, we're going to build an arena here where we can do shit, right? And they even mentioned it later, like, Marty knows Trump, who knows Dana White. So it's like he could, maybe excuse me, have Trump reach out to Dana White and help him get an arena set up to host an event. So it's like you also need to know people to get this shit done.
I'm an extremist, so I'm gonna like work with these people here. Never. I want to now only work in a place that I have 100% control over, 100%. And that way, everyone that's on board knows that they're in a place that they're going to be accepted. The end. Because how many times have you seen this? Deal is like, hey, sign the deal. Everything's great. And then last minute, you're gone now. We don't want to work with you anymore because a little bit of pressure came or a little bit of a boycott or a little bit of whatever. You have to start putting that infrastructure in place. I don't know how many times we sit here and listen to the same story over and over again. Imagine if we had our own place. It's very simple.
Well, it makes me wonder if there's a place that they can get in contact with. Because I think of somebody who might actually support this idea. And the first place that came to mind was Dana White and the UFC. They recently overhauled the Apex, where they hold their weekly fight nights. And as a result of that, it looks a lot more spacious. There's plenty of seating. I was thinking if they're doing something local to the Vegas area, because I think Marty's relatively close to that area, if I recall correctly, right? Because he's coming to your event, yeah?
Yeah. Yes. Absolutely.
Yes. Absolutely. So what if he did a LAN party and they just had it in the Octagon? And they had everybody around it like that. Because Dana's certainly not going to tell them no. And that's
that's my point.
Yeah, right. So he just needs to get into touch with Marty. Go reach out to Dana White. I'm sure he probably has your number already through crazy methods. All rich people do that kind of thing.
Well, Marty knows Trump. Trump knows Dana.
There you go.
Ficto facto, whatever. Right.
You need to find a place that was made with tax money, and when they do shit like what happened with the Halo guy, you could sue and hopefully get it set up. Yeah, I know. It's, again, I know it'll get taken care of. It's just the thing where like they had this event set up, it got canceled, and yada yada yada. You know how it is. The same old fucking political jargon bullshit.
Look, I agree with everything that you're saying, Phoenix, as far as building things. And once again, not to push things any further, but like, look, when events like this happen, whether it's the LAN party, whether it's Sin City, whether it's whatever, got to show up. That's what I also said. You have to also I'm getting it. I'm not wagging my finger at anyone. I totally understand it. But for this to work in a perfect world, whatever a independent person on our side produces, it benefits if it is then supported. I can't tell you how many movies I watch from our side. And listen, they're not the best, but I support it, and I'll try my best to like it as much as I possibly can because I understand how this works.
Wish I had more people like Phoenix in the content creator sphere that actually goes out and watches other content creators, not just wanting to work with bigger content creators, right? That make them look good so they can get big and make those internet dollars, right? It's all about supporting each other and trying to build something, and a lot of people do not want to do that.
Gonna start small. It's really tiny, but you gotta show up, you gotta facilitate it, you gotta fund it with the aim of not so much this product, but the product 5 years from now. And typically we don't see that. And again, I'm not pointing my finger at anyone, that in a perfect world, that's how you build momentum. It has to be that. You partner with UFC because you know that's an ally. You don't go for anything that you can't 100% control, that you don't know the 100% outcome of. We're done with that because anything will make them cancel. Literally anything will make them cancel. UFC won't. Try and tell that to Dana White. Dana White will tell you, go fuck yourself. Whatever happens, you're like, no, we're doing this thing.
Right.
That's what it has to be.
What's funny is, apparently people had called HyperX and complained about it, right? And to be clear, people have called the venue that we are doing Sin City at, and they have complained about us being there. And to the Space's credit, which is the venue that we're doing at, they have not said anything, right? They have not said anything to us about canceling or anything like that, which is why, once again, I just encourage everyone, pick up a ticket, come join us, meet us out in Vegas. We got this event coming up. It's about 5 weeks away. We'd love to see you guys there. Look, people say if you build it, they will come. We are doing our best to build it, so please come. Hopefully you guys can make it out there. And look, to be clear, we're not looking to make any money on this thing at all. We're probably going to lose money on the event, but it's just a matter of doing the event. Just do it, and hopefully folks show up for it. And we realize that the timing on it is, in an ideal world, we probably should have done it on a Saturday night to give you guys time to travel in. We understand you probably need to take a day off to come join us if you're traveling in. We get it, right? It's inconvenient. It's on a Friday, not a Saturday. Sorry about that. Wish we could have done it on a Saturday night, but it is what it is, and we're doing our best here. We're going to continue to do our best and continue to build.
And to add to that, again, I think I've mentioned this before. Let's say our event is a success, even if it's not, let's say, a financial success. It's a success in what we output, and people had a great time. Well, then another group on our side may have looked at that event and go, wow, there's a market for this. Yes. Maybe we can do this. And then theirs is just a little bit bigger, and so forth and so on. And then, hey, maybe you have a VTuber convention now that is safe to go to and you actually can go to. So it all builds into something, but we have to start somewhere, and we have to actually do it instead of relying on these external forces that we can never predict. You can predict that we're going to try our best to do something. You can trust that we're going to try and put on a great show. You can trust that we're going to try and make this a jumping off point to do bigger things in the future, right? So find people like us or someone else, whatever, with that same passion to make.
Stop hating on the VTubers. It's only like 99% of VTubers are awful, all right?
Make something and support it if you can. Even if it's not money, then get the word out. I know times are tough. Totally get it. Yep. I'm not putting this on anybody at all. I get it. I'm just saying, maybe just push it, forward it to somebody that might be interested. Things like that help get us these spaces so we can stop relying on all these factors that we can't control.
Yeah, correct.
And that space is not going to ban you guys for having Jake there.
Yeah.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet. Not yet. Yeah, and right, it is expensive, right? 100%. It is meant to be like I said, we're not making any money on this event. Just the rental of the venue costs $10,000. All right, it's $10,000 to rent the venue. So it costs a shit ton of money to rent the venue, to have production and do all that stuff. So yeah, man, and then on top of that, it's the flights out there and the hotels and everything goes along with that. So look, it costs a shit ton of money to do these events. That's just it. But the point is, we just got to do them. We just got to do them. Let's build it brick by brick, slowly. Totally understand. So, totally get it. So, all right, let's go and move on.
So yeah, I agree, Scott. If you literally, if you build it, they will come. Hopefully, good stuff will come from this, and we get more shit like this in the future. So, to kind of end this segment, we have a special announcement of where not to put your wiener.
Don't put your wiener in the peanut butter.
Don't put your wiener in the peanut butter.
Don't put your wiener in the peanut butter. Put your wiener in the peanut butter.
Don't put your wiener in the peanut butter.
Yes, do not put your wiener in the peanut butter.